Hello, everyone. This is Winona from Dairy Barn Art, and welcome back. Welcome if you're new. If you like what like what you see, please like, subscribe, and comment. I'm having issues with my eyes again. I burst blood vessels on this eye again, and this eye feels like it hurts worse than that one does. But just in case my eyes look a little bit funny today. This is my channel about my fiber arts, my cross stitching, my quilting, my crocheting, my paper crafting, and my general sewing. I haven't done much of anything but cross stitch for the last 2 months. Yes, it's been 2 months since I've done a floss tube. I'm terrible at this. I I find that I want to cross stitch more than I want to film. But I want to film because I want a record of what I've been doing. And yeah, so it seems like I I cross stitch more than I actually watch or actually do my floss tube. I watch a lot of floss tube. I watch a lot of floss tube. What else was I just gonna say? Oh yes, I filmed the rest of this video at the beginning of the week. It is June 13th, 2025. Actually, no, that's a lie. I filmed it last week. And then I just couldn't get myself to do the face-to-face part until today. That's hard when you're used to being in the house by yourself and you don't wear makeup when you're at home, and I don't wear a wig, and I go out so seldom. But I don't want people to see me without my makeup or without my wig because it's scary. It's really scary. Anyway, I'm feeling much better though. Otherwise, I'm not so tired all the time. The medications the doctor's given me have helped. I'm still not back to my old self. I don't know if I ever will be back to what used to be me. I maybe just have to learn to embrace the new me. I went to Stitch North at the end of April, and I had a fabulous time. I met up with two people, two ladies, Gail and Barb, that I met at StitchCon. That we sat at the same table, and we shared a table there too, and it was wonderful. We, I'm so jealous because they'll be at StitchCon a week from today, and I'm not going to be there. But I am going to be at Stitch and Stash in Edmonton, and that starts on the 19th of August. So my son is going to drive me up to Edmonton, and we're going to leave, I think, on the 17th, and I'm going to have a fabulous time. My biggest worry is all the forest fires. There have been horrendous forest fires in BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba, and the smoke is so bad sometimes. I live in the southern part of the province. The forest fires are in the northern part of the province, and the smoke down here is so strong some days you can't even see to my barn. And that's just, well, with a little walk, like it's not that far from the house. So I feel and I pray for all those people up north. And if you pray, I would appreciate it if you would pray to help stop the forest fires. Um, there, I can't imagine having to leave your home knowing that you may never come back to it, and that your pets and all your belongings. And I know that's just little stuff, but we shouldn't have to face these things. And I really feel for the people that do, and how strong they have to be. Anyway, when I went to StitchCon, or Stitch North, I should say, I had such a wonderful time. And the hotel they hosted in, it's a little bit expensive. Well, not really compared to the other hotels that they're hosted in, but the room was absolutely beautiful. It it was so clean. And the lady cleaned the room once. They don't clean the rooms every day anymore, which sometimes bothers me. But when I'm staying by myself, how dirty does my room get? But when she cleaned it, she did such a good job. It was just so nice to see, and you just wished I could have lived there. It was a king size suite, and it had a little living room, and with a nice sofa that pulls out. But it was so comfy. One day I wasn't feeling well, and I went and lied down upstairs, and it was just so comfortable to lie down on. You didn't feel like you were in a hotel at all. I've already booked next year's Stitch North, so I'm looking forward to going there. I feel bad because my friends Barb and Gail, who were at Stitch North, and I met them last year at StitchCon, They're my American friends, and they are going to StitchCon in a week from now. They'll be there. And I do feel like, oh, I'm going to miss it because I really wanted to go. But with the way things are right now, politically, I just felt like I shouldn't be there. So I'm going to Stitch and Stash in Edmonton instead. I'm leaving Tuesday morning. My son is driving me up, and it's at the West Edmonton Mall. And Thursday to Sunday, and I'm just going to have a blast. Hopefully the smoke isn't too bad that, it's hard to breathe. I have asthma and bad allergies. So hopefully it's not too bad. And what else do I say? Oh, yes. I have lots to show today. I have lots of finishes. I have a lot of fully finished objects. Yes, me that never finishes anything. I've got some fully finished objects. And I've got lots of haul again. Oh, I'm not joking when I say this, but I do have a shopping problem. I really, like my family has alcoholism, and I'm sure that if I drank alcohol, I would be an alcoholic. And my part of that is shopping. I'm really going to try to not purchase much. I just downloaded an app. I can't remember what it's called, on my iPad, and I cataloged all my starts, all my WIPS, all my kitted projects up. And so now I know exactly what I've got and how many. Like, I have 2 charts that I bought twice, and that's bad. That shouldn't happen. But I do have so many charts now that I love, and I could stitch for the rest of my life with those charts. I'm not saying I'm not going to buy any more, but I'm going to really try to cut down on my spending and cut down on my shopping. It's hard. It's hard. It's like an illness, and it may seem trivial, but it's not. Like, I'm lucky I have the money that I can spend this, but even if I didn't, I think I would. And I need to learn, when I get like that, to get doing something, pull myself away from the iPad, pull myself away from the computer, and just get working on a project and forget about the newest and sparkliest thing that's out there. I don't need it, as I just bought a kit from the homespun group on Facebook. Winona. Anyway, let's hope I don't spend too much at Stitch and Stash. That's part of the reason I cataloged everything, because I didn't want to make a mistake and buy. I really like Brenda Gervais, but it's hard to get her charts in Canada. And so I'm hoping that maybe one of the vendors there might have some of her charts, and I might pick up a few of those, and maybe some linen. But other than that, let's get started. Let's get and see what I've been stitching for the last little while. Okay, I have a few starts. I'll start with what I was working on today. This is my August Biddy Bowl Club from Pine Mountain Designs, yes, by Sandra Workman. These are the floss for it. I'm missing a light gray, but I think I can pull from my stash now that I know where it goes and what it kind of looks like. But they're all DMC, and this is where I'm at. So I'm working on this here, and this is where I'm at. So I just barely started, but I thought I'd share it with you since it was a start. And I need to apologize ahead of time for my nails. I've been out gardening. We've had rain for the last 2 days, so I've been able to come in and I could do a video, but my nails are a mess, and it's so hard to clean them, especially once they get down lower, that I'm not even going to worry about it until I get done with the gardening that I'm doing, because right now I'm pulling weeds, some that are a foot high in an area of my big flower bed that I didn't get to last year. So anyway, that's just my apology ahead of time. So at Stitch North, I bought a few charts, and you'll see them in my haul, but I also took a few things with me there. And I had this chart before, and I wanted to start it. Oh, I'm a mess here. Where's the picture of it? There we go. So this is But God from By the Bay Needle Art, and I've loved this ever since I first saw it. Now I'm thinking I wish I had done the heart in red instead though, but I can still change it if I decide to. But I started this at Stitch North, and this is stitched on 40 count Arctic by Picture This Plus, and boy is this ever crunchy and wrinkly. But this is what I got done. I'm using Vicki Clayton silks. I asked her to do a conversion for me, and oh, I just love them. Like working with my wrinkly DMCs, they just don't feel the same. They just don't have that same shine. But anyway, this is the color palette. I've done it on light blue, and this is what I got done at the retreat. Let's get this to focus here. There we go. So this is smaller than 40 count. I compared it to one of my table mates. She was working on 40 count, and this is quite a bit smaller. I guess Picture This Plus shrinks, but I could still work on it, and I had no problems. My biggest problem is gabbing, talking too much and losing count and having to redo it. But I'm pleased with what I got, and I think I'm going to take this with me to Stitch and Stash retreat I'm going to in a week and a half. Oopsie, I don't, oh, that's a horrible sound. I don't normally show you separately what I started, but because these were such distinct starts this time, I separated them. And then on Sunday of the retreat, one of the ladies sitting beside me, she was stitching on Ada. And her stuff looked so great that I thought, why don't I buy some Ada and see how, because I don't normally stitch on Ada. So I'm just pulling everything out here. This is what I gave away as table gifts. I bought bags, and I gave away a few little frogs in each bag, and then my cards. But I purchased the chart the day before. Artsy Housewife, she's one of my new what is that? One of my new favorite designers. And so I bought the chart the day before, and then on the Sunday I bought some Ada, and it's 18 count, I believe. Oh boy, it's wrinkled up. Let's see my card here. It's on 18 count Buttercup Ada by Roxy Floss, and I'm doing a Roxy Floss conversion. Oh, I can't think of her name right now that does the conversions. Hannah. She did it up for me. This finishes at 7.2 inches by 11.2 inches. And I started this on the Sunday. I worked on it a bit at the on the Sunday. And then I worked at the airport while I was waiting. And I worked a bit when I got home the first night. So the needle binder came in a little box that I purchased that you'll see in my haul, but I really like the way the stitches lay. It's a very nice, I don't know what's going on with my camera today. Very nice. Very pleased with it. And here's the Roxy Floss, and I really like Roxy Floss. My plan is to get her whole line in time, and then I can convert most things to Roxy Floss. Like, look at the sheen on that. Very similar to silk. Just beautiful. Okay, so that's it for that. I like these bags because I keep my floss separately from my stitching and my books. So those were my starts for the month. On my birthday, which was July 30th, I started the Star Dragon as my birthday start. And I work on that almost all months, the 30th and the 31st. And I think think I have it here. Yeah. So here is the chart. It's from Owl Forest. Just love it. Oh, I just love this chart. So beautiful. And I condition their threads, or else they fray on me. And I don't know if it's the linen or me or the threads, but when I condition them with my friend Gail's thread conditioner, they work so fine. They work wonderful. And the variegation in these is beautiful, as is the sheen. So I'm stitching this on 40 count millstone by Legacy Fiber Arts. The stitch count is 185 by 445. It's going to finish 9.3 inches by 22.3 inches. And I started this on July 30th, 2024. And this is where I'm at. Here's their needle minders. I got the needle minder from them too, and they are really stick. Isn't that wonderful? It's just so pretty. If I can get that to focus half decently. So I'm going to can I hold them both up at the same time? I'm going to go down here and fill in this, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side, and then I'll get back to doing the border. But it's going to take me forever to do this. But I think on my birthday this year, I'm going to pick up a small birthday stitch, something smaller. And then this, I think I'm going to stitch on in the evenings. I'm going to try to make myself stay up in the evenings and at least put a thread in a day on this. Hopefully more, but I'm in bed by 6 o'clock at night. I am so tired all the time. Oops, sorry, I hit you. Sorry about that. I think you've stopped shaking now. But that's my birthday start. And then I have a stitch every day that I do, a thread every day, a strand that I do every day in the mornings. And this is Salina by Salina X Stitch. That's the name of the company off of Etsy. And this is their pattern S13. Love it. Love it. Oh, I love it. Okay, I'll take this apart. I work on this every morning, so it's always in a hoop. And it'll need to be ironed really well when I'm done. I just use cheap little hoops from Michael's. They work for me fairly well. So I should have maybe tried to, I don't like to iron before it's done. I don't like to press my dirt and that into the stitch. And this is something that could be washed when it's done because it's DMC thread. But I was around here somewhere the last time I talked to you. I've since stitched all the way down to here on this side. And then I picked up, I was at the middle here. So then I've picked up stitching down here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stitch down here, and then I'm going to bring it over and close this frame in, and then I'll start on this wreath, and then finally I'll do the inside. It's probably going to take me another year or so to do it, but it's amazing. Like, I started doing a stitch a day in January, and I'd only had a little bit of this done in January, and it's amazing how much I've got done. Mind you, it's half a year later too, but if I can finish this before fall. And then this here, this will be very, you know, once you learn your count, you're just doing repeating. I'm debating whether, I think I have to do each of these circles separately. I don't think I should carry my threads. Like these three, I could probably carry my threads because there's only one stitch between each of them. but these have more than one stitch, and this is such a light fabric that it shows through. I don't know if I have my card in here. No, but this is stitched on, I think it's porcelain by 36 count porcelain by Roxy Floss, I believe. I guess I could look that up. It's in my book here. Let's just look it up. So, Selling More, number 18. "36 count porcelain by Roxy Floss linen." And it's going to finish 13 7/8 by 14 3/4. And the stitch count is 249 by 245. And I'm using DMC variegated 40/30 on it. So I just thought, just had a moment here. I have my book beside me here that I record things in. So this is what my May looked like. I usually stitch 2 things a day. I stitch my S13, which is this piece, every morning. And then I stitch whatever I'm working on in the afternoon. Or after I'm done this, in the morning and the afternoon for a bit. I have some assignment stitching this year, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. So I stitch on that for the first of the month until I get it done. It takes me about half the month to finish my assignment stitching. And then I choose what I stitch for the rest of the month. Last month it was the Queen's Garden until I finished it. And then this is the day, which I didn't finish. And June, I don't believe I've written anything in yet. So I'm going to have to get my button gear and get writing in there. But I do know what I've been working on though. So, and this book here is from, I got it from Fat Quarter Shop, and it's filled up already. So what I've done is I've just taken a little notebook I got at the dollar store, and I put my Project 51 in. They're all numbered. I'm now at Project 79, and then at the back I have them all listed, and as I finish them I fill in the square beside it as they're finished, and then as they're fully finished I fill in, I highlight it as they're fully finished. And actually I'm going to have to write what I started today because it's not on here, and I'll have to do a card up for it. Anyway, that's where I'm at on this. It is really wrinkled, and I do think because it's everyday stitching, I think that I may wash it when I'm done, or at least rinse it when I'm done the whole thing. Because even though the fabric's dyed, it doesn't have a lot of color to it, and it's DMC thread. Oh, yeah. This is what I'm using, DMC 40/30. It was an experiment. When I first started it, I really wasn't happy with it, the way the variegation was going. But now that there's more there, I think it's looking pretty good. Okay, up next, this is one of my assignment stitches I have. And this is Hometown by Teresa Kogut. This is in her Patreon club, and it started last January. I'll show you what I have here. So I finished June's already because it took me so long to do this video. I've got June's done. I think my favorite part to stitch was this house here. I like the brickwork on it, or it looks like logs kind of too. But I have all this finished. This is, the stitch count is 182 by 356, and it'll finish 10 by 20. And it's the 36 count Fox and Rabbit Up in the Attic. Now I'm a year behind because I ordered this from a company, I ordered this linen from a company in Canada, and it didn't get to me till November. I wish they had told me it was going to take that long, and I would have just ordered it from somewhere else or chosen something else. But I've decided I'm doing it I've been really good at keeping up. This month was hard. I felt I wanted to do other things, but I'm trying to keep up as best I can, and then finish it in a year and a half if I just do 1 month at a time. But I don't know why I didn't leave myself more of a border here, but I didn't. So here's the stitching. I would have done this on 40 count had I known it was going to take so long. When I ordered the linen, I was only working on 36 count. I never thought I would do 40 count. So I was working on 36. And so I ordered 36. Well, I don't really like the way one strand looks on 36 anymore. And I don't like 2 strands on 36. And I really don't care much for 32. So I would have preferred to do this on 40, but I'm not starting over. Here's all of the DMC floss for this. You need a lot. But it's big. Like, there's 24 months of this stitching to do. It's kind of like doing a hawk run hollow, which I've told myself, you're not restarting your hawk run hollow until this is done. This is enough. This takes at least 7 days of my month stitching on it. If I could stay awake at night, and I could get stitching at night, I would get so much more done. But I can't. It takes me 12 hours of sleep to get 8 hours of sleep. And here, I don't know which part 9 shows more, but this is part 7. It shows what I have to do next month. I've got to do part of this building, and I think from here. So it might take me, I don't know if it should take me longer or not. There was a lot of stitching in this gift barn. Sure looks good now that it's done though. And I thought I missed something here, but it's not. There is no sidewalk there. Oh, I think that I'm going to put it there. Because the sidewalk goes this way and then it comes this way, but there's nothing there. And I don't have that on mine either. Where are we here? See, I missed those couple of ones. And I thought it was my mistake because I had missed some of the house. But I'm thinking I'm going to stitch it in. Because it's not the chimney. It's definitely the sidewalk. It's the same color, so. And that's part of it too. Like, that's why it's released in Patreon. Because she can work out all those kinks before she releases it and people pay for it. Well, I guess in a way we pay for it on Patreon, but. I gotta put my keyboard up. I just hit it and I need to get it up out of the way. There we go. Then I spent a lot of time on this month. I really want to finish this. This is one of my favorite pieces. It was one of my first pieces I stitched. It was my first piece on 36 count. And that is, I'll take it out of the plastic here. You've probably all seen this. It's been done. It's a few years old. But this is The Day by Plum Street Samplers. Oopsie, don't shake, Winona. And I've got quite a bit of it. I got quite a bit done when I worked on it last. Here are the floss. And my floss are always a mess. But it's a combination of DMC, Weeks, and Classic Colorworks. It's beautiful, beautiful, what's it called? Palette, that's the word. I had to redo a video on my other channel because I did it yesterday and I was so tired that I couldn't find words for things that I knew what they were. And I finally thought, I can't put that video up. Okay, this again needs to be pressed, but it's almost done. So what did I do since the last time you saw me with it? I finished this upper border here. I put the sun in. It's hard to tell, but I actually did stitch the center. Oh, it shows up on camera. I did the bees. I did the butterfly. I did the crow. I did, I think, 1.5 of the goats. I need to do their eyes still. I did the flower. And then I finished this border here. And then I started putting the words in. So I really don't have a lot to do on it. I've just got I started the W, so we got the E, will rejoice and be glad in it. These flowers, the bottom border. I think I've got a B here and a B here to have to do. And these little boxes like this are here and there on it. And then it's done. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to, they show up so well on camera though. I was thinking I might do a back stitch around the goats. I have to do their eyes yet too. But I might not. They show up really well on camera, and they do show up in person as well. So this was stitched, oops, that's Hometown. Let's see what I've got here. There we go. These cards you can get made up on Vistaprint. This is a picture I took of our yard coming home one night. We bought a dairy farm, but we don't run dairy cattle, we run beef cattle. I've probably told you this before. And but we have this huge barn that used to be the dairy barn, and everyone, like, that's how you say when people say you live by Broadview. Oh, it's just look on the highway, see the big dairy barn, and that's when you pull in, and that's Broadview. Well, when we first moved here, I was quilting for people. I was doing custom quilting, and I couldn't think of a name for my business, and one of my friends at work said, what about Dairy Barn Quilting? And I thought, yeah, because that way there people would know how to find me. Look for the big dairy barn, and that's me. So when I started my YouTube channel, I thought, I'm going to use Dairy Barn Art as it, and keep that same name. Now I'm thinking I should change it to Nona Lee Stitchery, a play on my name. But anyway, that's not where I was. Talk about squirrel. This is, you can put a picture on the front, you can put whatever words on the front, and then on the back I just put the leaders for the information I would want. So this is 202 stitches wide by 170 stitches high. It's stitched on 36 count vintage country mocha, which I absolutely love vintage country mocha. And this was my first project on 36 count linen. And when I first started, if you haven't stitched on linen before, don't get discouraged, because when I first started, I remember my granddaughter was here with me, and it was a Sunday, and she was playing on the floor, and I had the TV going, and I was sitting in my chair, and I was having a really hard time doing that 2 stitches. And now it's just like plunk, 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 plunk. And if I don't know it, I count 2 over and 2 up, and I got it. Like, it's just, try it. But then again, I showed you today how nice things look on Ada as well. So the choices are yours for whatever you want to work on now. Not like years ago when we just had crunchy Ada to work on. Now the Ada isn't even crunchy anymore. So that'll get picked up in the coming days, because I really want to finish this and I want to get it framed. And then I think the last thing I have is, I picked this up yesterday, and I had finished Hometown for the month, and I wasn't ready to start that Pine Mountain one. So I grabbed this. I was looking for something else, but I found this instead. And I thought, you know, I'm going to stitch on it, and I really like this. It was really hard to put it down today and start working on my homework, or what I've assigned to myself. So this is Stitch Every Day by Hands On Designs. This is an older one. What does it say? 2015, so it's 10 years old. And it was made into a drum at Keepsakes when I saw it. And I hope you can still get that button, because I want to get that button. I want to make it into a drum. It'll be my first drum that I make. But here it is. And of course I've got my needle in it because I'm working on it. And my thread. But yesterday when I picked it up, I did this here, this log cabin, and the platform for the house. And I did the house. And then I stitched 2.5 stars and the moon. And this is the palette. It's Gentle Arts and Weeks Dye Works, a combination of them. And they look beautiful on this linen. And this linen is 36 count Stately by Fortnight Fabrics. I love stitching on this linen. It is just sweet. It's just, oh, so nice. Definitely will need to order more of this. The design is 73 by 168. So I've got a ways to go. I've got, oh, that light is glaring. I've got this basket, finished the stars. I've got this basket to do, the scissors, the spools of thread, the star, and the trees, and another star. And then this here is all done in pin stitch, which I'm going to try. If I don't like it, I'll stop. But I really want to try it because I really think it's a learning curve, and it'll add texture to the project. And this, all of this is Smyrna crosses. All of it. And I hear people say the new one from Brenda Gervais has the alphabet going around it is all Smyrnas, and they're done with Smyrnas by the time they're done the alphabet. Well, I suspect that'll be... Mind you, I don't mind doing things like that. It's just another stitch. So it doesn't really bother me. But I don't know about the pin stitch. We'll see. We'll try it. I figured what I'll do is I'll finish this, and then I'll try doing that, and I can take my time at that. I could just do so much a day and then put it away. So much a day and put it away. So, and slowly make myself get to the finish line so I can finish it. And that is all my WIPs this month and a half. So I think next, what do I have? My WIPs and starts. That's all my WIPs and starts. And we will go on. I'll gather up. I'll put these away, and I'll gather up all my finishes and my fully finishes. Okay, I just can't believe this. I have 14 fully finished projects this month. It might even be 15, I think. First, I'm going to show you the bitty bowls from March to July that I finished. And I'm counting these as 2 because they are technically 2 separate pieces. So here's March's. There's the little pillow. And then at the back is that. These are stitched on 16 count Ada. And they come with this fabric sewn on the top and on the bottom, and then you stitch this, and then you sew it together and stuff it. And then I tied the ribbon. Everything you see here came with it, including this here, this card. So that's March. I think this is April. It came with this card and some moss and a couple of eggs, bird's eggs. And then this is the bag. Isn't that beautiful? Again, this is stitched on 16 count Ada. And then I've gathered the top. And then there's a charm with eggs. I've just tied a bow. And then here's the little stitch here. Sometimes these take a long time to stitch because they're quite a lot of confetti in them. And I did French knots for the eggs. I should have done one more right here, but everything comes in the kit, even the chenille to glue on the outer edges. And these will just sit in the little bitty bowl each month. I'll try to take pictures of them, but I don't guarantee that I'll get that done this video. They might be added on another video at some time. I have Bible study tomorrow, and then I have to run to Regina the next day. So, and then hopefully by then it's dried up enough that I can work out in the garden. So here's the card for May's. Little forget-me-nots. And then this goes in here. And here's the little pouch. I did Bloom. It had just alphabet letters. I think it started with G, H, I, J, K, I think. But they also did charted for Bloom. And again, this is on 16 count Ada. And then here's the little pillow. This was last year's Beauty Club. I don't know if you can get them anymore. This year's I'm getting in the mail. Excuse me. But I'm just saving them to work on next year, because she sends them to me every second month, so they're oops, sorry for the crinklings. They come late. And June's is right here. June's is kind of a nautical theme. Here's the pillow. We glued a little seashell on the top there, and then just tied some twine. And there's the mermaid sitting on the rock. This stitched up fairly quickly. And glued the chenille on the edge, and there's the backing. This is the card that came with it this month. And then we've got some netting and some shell and some pearls to put in the thing. And then this has got a different, this is like a buoy that's in the ocean, that, or a weight even. I don't know, I live in the middle of the prairies. I'm landlocked on all sides. I don't know a lot of nautical stuff. But there's some seaweed, and there's a mariner's compass and sail. Again, this is on 16 count Ada. I'll have to trim that. I'm glad I'm doing this video finally, because I'd like to put some of these things I finished on display. I just had them in a basket in my room here. Then we've got July's. And of course, the big thing in July in the States is the 4th of July. So thankfully she sent me it modified to Canadian. So I stitched a Canadian flag here, and the colors were all good otherwise. This is the card, so I'll have to go online and find something Canadian and print it out for my box. This, I think, is the Declaration of Independence, but I think I'm just going to keep it in there. I unrolled it to see what it was, and thought, you know what, nobody needs to unroll it. It can just be on display. And then here, this is like a firecracker. It's got the stem coming out of it, and then the flowers. And I think I changed a few of these flowers. This was, I think, like an American flag, and I just changed it to just like a checkerboard. And then these down here were American bunting, and this was blue in here, so I just changed it to red for Canada. And this was stitched on 16 count Ada Vintage Country Mocha, which I didn't know they did Ada. So that's kind of cute. I did make a mistake down in here, but you know, in the scheme of things, you'll never know. So that's it. I'm all ready for July on my bitty bowls. I'm starting working on August. And I don't know why I let them all sit, because they sure don't take much time to finish when you get to that point. Then I fully finished Savor Every Stitch. And this was by Luminous Fiber Arts. It was started on December 11th, 2023, and it was part of my 12 starts of Stitchmas. And it was finished on April 18th, 2025, and fully finished on May 17th of 2025. It's stitched on 36 count fiber on a whim cypress. And then I glued rickrack on that I bought from Hobby Lobby. It was just at the end of an aisle. There are just a bunch of them, all different kinds of trims. And you just get what you get. How did they used to say at school? You get what you get and you don't have a fit. And then, yeah. So I'd like to get some pins to stick in here, but I'd have to seriously start looking for pins then, because I'm not really seriously looking for anything. This I finished a while ago, but didn't fully finish it. This was the Frog Motto by Annie B's Folk Art. I started it on December 4th, 2023. It's another of my 12 starts of Stitchmas. And I finished it on August 4th, 2024. And I fully finished it on May 17th, 2025. It's kind of lumpy. I can see that now. I was stitched on 36 count Atomic Grant Tombstone, and I glued some of that Hobby Lobby trim around the edges. This was in another package of that kind of trim. As ye sow, so shall ye rip. Oh, I didn't show the back. This is some Lori Holt fabric I had. I just used it on the back. It has a lot of the colors that are on the front. And this as well. This is just fabric I had at my desk. I didn't even have to go look. And it all worked out so well. If I had this to do over again, I would change her skin tone. And I would probably do this on a different linen. But my living room is very much these colors. So this would look really good downstairs in the living room. And then, Basket of Cherries. I finished this a long time ago. This is Garden Club number 4 by Blackberry Designs. I started this as another 12 starts of Stitchmas. I started it on December 1st, 2023. I finished it on May 17th, 2024, and fully finished it on May 17th, 2025. I stitched it on 32 count weeks dye work Cocoa. I love the color, but I don't really like stitching on 32 count unless it's tighter than this. I find the loose ones I don't care for too much. I stitched one thread over 2 strands of linen using the called for floss, and I glued some more of that rickrack around the edges. And then I had cut the don't cut the rickrack until you've come down the edge and you've met up. I kind of measured loosely and trimmed, and I had an opening, you can see, about this big. So I just went into my buttons and I glued a button on the back, on the bottom there, to cover that up. And then this is the back, and this is another Lori Holt. I think this is Christmas fabric, but it doesn't matter. It went really well. I love this one. I really do like blackbird patterns. So there's that. So there's my 3 pillows, besides my other ones that I've done. But wait, I have another one. I have another fully finished, and it's a first for me. I framed it myself. This is Rachel Sellers, 1882 by Red Barn Samplers. I bought this frame. I ordered it from Michael's. I just saw it and I thought, nope, that's the frame for me. It's got the same colors in it that the linen has in it. It's a problem when these sit around, they collect dust. What did it say here? I started this project on July 24th, 2024, and I finished it on March 16th, 2025. I fully finished it on May 18th, 2025, and I'm so happy with it. It's my first project I framed by myself. It's not perfect, but I was really intimidated to try this. Really intimidated. And I kept procrastinating, which I'm really good at. But it was really easy. And you know what? It's not perfect, but you know, when you send it to a framer, they don't get it perfect either. But I'm really surprised at how easy it was. And I just love it. I just love it. I stitched this on 40 count Picture This Plus Velt, which is one of my favorite linens. and I stitched it with the 103 silks. I really didn't enjoy working with them. They look nice here and the stitches look plump, but I just thought it was a really fine thread, and I had a hard time keeping it in my needle. I was stitching with 28 needles, but I kept losing it out of the needle eye. But it's done. And I can't believe, like, I had this custom made, this frame, and I'm all new to this. Like, I've never framed anything that I've stitched before. And I went to Michael's and found it, and they didn't have a coupon on at the time. And I said, we figured out what size I wanted, and because there's a minimum size you can get to, so we had to make sure it fell within that, the size limit. $130. $130 for the frame, and there's my back, my lacing. I still have to put a board in here, and then I'm going to put paper around the outside, but I haven't done that yet. But yeah, it's... Oh, I'm so happy with myself. I'm so proud. I can't wait. This is going to go down into my living room. I'll just put it on a plate stand for now. I see lots of little threads here and there. But anyway, stop being so picky, Winona. Anyway, that's it for my fully finished. But I do have a few finishes that I just never had time to fully finish. And one of them is my Sayings of the Season by the Housewives. Oh, what are they called? Is it the Housewives or the Stitching Housewives? Or this is through the Fat Quarter Shop. And I allow myself 3 months to finish each season. And this one only took me 2. So that's freed up some time in my June schedule to do something else. So that's good. And I'd hope to get this fully finished, but I was intimidated by its length. And I have to cut the board. But I started this on April 5th of this year, and I finished it on May 10th. And I was stitching this on 28 count black monocle using the called for Classic Colorworks, and the stitch count on this is 196 by 35. I love the way this worked out. That was a total accident the way that worked, but this I tried a little more. I pre-planned what I was doing to get that variegation, and I had made mistakes over here that I ended up going back and fixing. I was going to leave them, and then I thought, you know, Winona, if you get that fully finished and you see that and it bothers you, you're never going to put it out. So got that one done. Hopefully by next month, or well, hopefully not the next video. Hopefully I get a video out soon after this when I get home from Stitch and Stash. So this is The Queen's Garden by the Scarlet House. This is one I picked up at Keepsakes when I first went down a few years ago. This was another of my 12 starts of Stitchmas in 2023. I started it on December 6th, 2023 and finished it on May 20th, 2025. Here it is in all finished up. It feels good to get some of these done. This is stitched on 36 count Picture This Plus Heritage. I like Picture This Plus because it's tighter weave. And there it is, all finished. The stitch count is 119 by 69. I should have followed the instructions for the bees on this. They're stitched 1 over 1, and it said 10th stitch for 36, and I thought, oh, I can probably do a full stitch. Oh, it was hard. Next time I'll be doing, they look kind of fuzzy like bees. That's the one good thing. But I'll be doing 10th stitch when it tells me to do 10th stitch. Oh, it was 40 count stitch, and I was stitching on 36. That's why I thought it would be fine. But I also forgot the Picture This Plus linen shrinks, and 36 is more like a 40. But so the bees are really chunky, and a little bit fuzzy, but that's okay. I love her hair and her crown. Look at her shoes. They're so cool. But that's it. That's it for my finishes and fully finishes. I think I did well this month. That's the most I've ever had. Oh, here's the floss for that. I haven't put that away yet. So it's mostly Gentle Arts. Gentle Arts, Gentle Arts, Gentle Arts, Gentle Arts, Gentle Arts. All Gentle Arts. It feels good. So these can get put away now. This can go in my finishing pile. And maybe I'll get it finished for next month. I just need to find a backing and decide what trim I'm going to use on it. Oh, I'm yawning. But that is it for my FFOs. I didn't do any crocheting this month. I haven't done a thing. I just, I don't know, just haven't seemed to have energy to do it. So my crocheting is sitting, waiting for me, and I'm almost finished an Afghan. I have a problem with finishing things. I get to that almost finished stage and then I just kind of stop doing it. But anyway, I guess that's it for this. Let's go on to my haul. Okay, I like to do my subscriptions that I'm involved with first, and then go on to just my random purchases. So my Dragon Fruit month 8 has come, and month 9, I believe this is, month 7. Look at the fabrics. Like, how can you not want to do this? I haven't even started it yet, but I will get to it. It's sitting on my desk. I can't stand things sitting on my desk for too long. So here I've got month 12 and block 11 and block 12 of my designer mystery. So this is done. So they'll be starting a new one soon. I'm a few blocks behind, but like I said, once I get going, it doesn't take me long to get caught up. Then I've got my Grace Notes fabric. I just got another one in the mail, so I've got 3 of them to show you. I don't know which month is which. I do like that she gives us a little sticker each time. Put that to the side. This is 40 count Eeyore, like Winnie the Pooh. It's a little bit bluer than what that's showing, but that's pretty good. It's pretty nice, pretty modeled. Pretty nice. I like her linens. And then this one came before. This one just came just the other day, and I was debating whether I had my notes made up already, and I was debating whether I was going to show it or not. But I thought, you know what, show it, put it away, then you don't have more stuff sitting around. This is Fly Me to the Moon, and this is very much like porcelain Roxy Floss. This porcelain. It's kind of a creamy color, white. It's definitely got white through there, but it's a little bit on the cool side of cream, if there is such a thing. And then this was this month's, and this is Palomino. And again, this is 40 count. This is beautiful. This is much warmer than it's showing on the camera. Much warmer. Look at this here. Isn't that cool? Now let's see, sometimes if I go like this, yeah, it's showing up green. It's not green though. If you look right in here, that's more what it's like, is in there, down this side of it. Anyway, so that's that. Then I got a couple of months of Roxy Floss. I've got 4 out of 30 shipments. So this month we had chalkboard, This one doesn't have a name on it. I might have to phone and ask them. This is carob. Carbon. Caramel. Beautiful. Camping trip. That's what you look like when you come home. Cabernet. That's beautiful. Butterscotch. Butter chicken. Bubbly. The dogs are barking outside. Bubble bath. Brunette. And then we've got our number 5. Let's put this to the side so I don't forget to call them about it or email them. Coal. It's a nice gray. Clownfish. Was it Dory that was the clownfish? Cinnamon. This is beautiful variegation. Chocolate ganache. Chili powder. Very nice variegation in it. This yellow is beautiful. Chick. That's a beautiful yellow. Buttery yellow. Cheshire. Ooh, that's nice. Cherry blossom. Cheeky. I love some of these names. Charcoal, didn't we? Oh, coal, charcoal. Chanterelle, canterelle. I think that's maybe a mushroom, I'm not sure. And chambord. So we've got some beautiful floss there. This came just the other day. This is Careless Khaki. It's the March 25 traditional. Boy, that took a long time to come. Careless Khaki. I thought I'd open it with you. I like this. Oh, it's got like some red, some rusty brick red. Bricks aren't rusty, but kind of like a brick red. This is really pretty. Really pretty. I'll be using that up, I know, because I like darker linens. What else do I have? I'm just pulling stuff out of my basket, so some will be in order, some won't be. This is the Sweet Stitching Club for this year. This is what's done instead of the Itty Bitty Club this year. At the beginning of the year, we got this little unit here to paint, and then each month we get everything we need to finish the box up for that month. So this is May's. We can even get a beach ball. Oh, I put it in the wrong thing. It goes to June's. Did we even get taffy in there? I bet you we did. Saltwater taffy, that won't last long with me. I love that stuff. I got some of my villages, my monthly villages from Fat Quarter Shop by Country Cottage Needleworks. This is the May mini village. This is the June mini village. And for some reason, the February one must have got stuck in the mail because that came too. So, I got those. I got my Erin Elizabeth vintage seed packets. I got the lilac. I've got to find time to stitch these. I just love these two. I would love to do them up and have the vegetables in my kitchen in the summertime. I just have to scratch my back. This time of the year with the wood ticks, you feel like something's crawling on you all the time. But I put the vegetable ones in my kitchen on a tiered tray in the kitchen, on the kitchen table. But these ones I might like to either display in the living room or even up here. So got that one. I'm gonna have to clean up my floor after. I signed up with Country. Oh, what is the name of that store? I'll be right back. As soon as I turned off the camera, I remembered. Country Sampler, they have a club that has 4 samplers for the year, and I saw someone working on this Julia Rachel de la Mer 1849, and I immediately contacted them to see if I could still join the club or not, and they said sure, but they were waiting for some to be stocked with some of the floss, and did I mind waiting, and if I had to wait and the second one was almost ready, will I have them ship them both at the same time? And I said yes, definitely, because the shipping is so expensive anyway. So here's the pattern. Isn't that beautiful? It looks beautiful here, but that's nothing compared to what it looks like stitched. It is incredible, and I've seen people looking for it on Facebook. So here we've got 40 count Hemingway. That's needle and flax, isn't it? It doesn't say, but that's really pretty. I would love to just start these right away, but I have so many things. So we've got a combination of Classic Colorworks, Gentle Arts, and Weeks Dye Works floss for this. So someday soon, I'm just going to set that to the side and I'll put it away nice and neat when I'm done this video. I'm just going to turn my chair around. Then the second one, Threads of History. This was number 1 in the Threads of History. That was number 2. Number 3 hasn't come out yet. So this is SS Harris Heart and Hand Sampler. You can see the little hearts up here and the hands down here. This, I don't know what this is stitched on. It doesn't say. I don't think it's Hemingway. It looks different. Maybe it's Old Stationery, maybe, by Seraphim. I might have, maybe it's in with my floss. Because the last one had a little card that said, no. So I don't know, but here's the floss for it. Yeah, I wish it said what it was stitched on. But that's the minor thing. I can look online too and see. But I love that. I might take one of these to the retreat with me and maybe start on them. Then what else have I got here? Stitching with the Housewives. Oh, that is their name. That's all it is, their name. Duh. So this is a quarterly kit for this year, and it's called Sweet Seasons. So this is what I got. They send you the pattern. They send you one of the finishing fabrics and a needle minder. There's the needle minder. Cute. And there's the floss. And then it's finished on Paisleys and Polka Dots wooden piece that I'll order when next year when I start on this, and you choose what you're going to stitch it on. They used to send the fabric, but now it's up to us to choose what we want to stitch it on. Then we've got a couple of things I ordered from 123 Stitch. So I ordered In Friendship's Way by Blackbird Designs. It's pretty. It's nice too. So is that. So they have quite a few smalls in here. Look at, there's a strawberry. It's another strawberry with a button on top. Isn't that cool? So anyway, I thought I'm trying to build up a Blackbird collection. I don't know when I'll get to stitch everything, but oops, my chair is making noise here. This is on my list of wants. This is a peacock, a unicorn, and a badger, and I have watched people stitch this. And I love the simplicity of it. I love it reminds me of when I was young and I used to color in coloring books, and how I would go around the edge with a darker color and then fill in with lighter colors. It just, yeah, just speaks to my heart. So maybe this is a start for, oh, I don't know. I think when I start this, it's something I would like to work on, dedicate a good bunch of time. But I don't want to leave it for 2 years either. But I don't like, being told, being told by myself that I need to stitch this because that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm trying to get away from doing that to myself and stressing myself out. But, oh, I love this. This is like, oh, I'm just hugging that chart. And this I picked up because Gail at Stitch North was stitching a beautiful American flag she's been working on for a few years. And I thought, we really don't have much Canadian memorabilia stuff. There's more and more I find now that I'm actually looking for it. But I saw this and thought, I would love to stitch this. And then I thought, I saw on Facebook, D-Stash, but I was too late. Someone had a fabric flare that had maple leaves on it, just like tone on tone. I thought, wouldn't that be wonderful stitched on that? So I have to search into that. And I really don't think this would take a whole lot of time to stitch. But anyway, so I grabbed that from 123 Stitch. From Hobby House, this has been in my cart forever and a day, and I finally, you can't see it, it's too glary. I finally decided, you know what, you don't need to stitch it right away, Winona. Just because you bought it doesn't mean you need to stitch it, because I want to stitch it in soie d'Alger, and they're about $200 Canadian for it. But maybe 1 month I'll be able to budget that, and because I'm really trying to cut down on my spending. But this is so beautiful. And Sarah Milthorpe is another one I want to get, but I haven't got yet. And then this is the little cloth that came with it, so I'm going to use this in a project bag. And I don't know if I'll stitch it in the seam or if I will stitch it on top, tack it down, and leave the edges loose so it can fray a bit. This is beautiful. How many stitches is this? 266 by 249. So, and it shows the soie d'Alger. If you're stitching one strand, you're stitching 2 strands. Those are the 103s. And then 2 strands on different counts. She really goes out of her way here. And then DMC 1 strand or 2 strands. But there's quite a few that you need. Oh, and here's the Isn't that cute? I might have to put this on the back of it when I'm done and it's framed. But anyway, that's that. And remember, it may seem like I've got a lot of haul, and I know I got a lot of haul. I know that. I'm really trying to cut back. But I also haven't done a video since April. So it does tend to collect after a while. Because when I get stuff in the mail, I just put them in my basket until I do a video. Okay, I ordered from number 12 Stitch Co. off of Etsy. And it was packaged so pretty that I thought, you know what? I'm going to wait and open it with you. So this I think I opened. Oh yeah, I remember now. I thought there were seeds in it. This is those Haribo Gold Bears. They advertise these on TV. They have the coolest advertisements. They're old, like adults, but they talk like babies, little kids. They're so cute. Anyway, let's... I don't even remember what I ordered. Oh, more. I'm just gonna throw that down on the floor. Okay. Oh. What's this? Oh, 20% off all kits will be donated to the National Breast Cancer Foundation of Australia. Well, isn't that nice to know? Cool. This I ordered. I've been wanting to order this for a long, long time. Oh. Here's their information if you're interested. I think I'm going to tape this into my daily planner. Isn't this pretty? Life is short, buy the fabric. And this is Cherry Bomb 40 count, and it's a fat quarter. It's really pretty. And it's exactly that, a cherry bomb. And I think this was a special they had for Easter, and I believe Brenda, from Brenda and the Cereal Starter, I think she bought this. I can't remember if Laura bought it too. Oh, this is iced. Okay, these are the names of the two linens in here. And look at you get rickrack and ribbon. So this is Frost. These are all 36 count. This is Sea Glass. This is beautiful. The only thing could make it better is if it's 40 count. Sea Glass. Oh, it's not showing up right on the camera. Look deep down there and that's what you see. It's absolutely gorgeous. This one's showing up good. That still isn't it. And then this is Iced Violet. Oh, and you got a little counting pin. This can go in my 8-pearl bitty bowl. Oh, and that can go in my thing too. Well, isn't that nice to know? So this is Iced Violet. My husband's aunt was named Violet. She was a twin. There was Violet and Viola. Very beautiful ladies. Died way too young. And then we've got a little bunny charm and a flower button. So cool. I don't want to just throw that on the floor, but it's got enough stuff under there that it'll be fine. Okay, then I always like to check dyeing for cross stitch for her monthly linens. And I've been looking for something to do a mirabilia on. And I think this might be it. This was the May fabric of the month. Did I buy a half? That's a fat quarter? I don't think that's a fat quarter. That's a half. It's big. So this is the May fabric. And look at this, is the same color. And this is a 40 count Laguna. And this is a fat quarter. Oh, it's not showing the right colors. Yeah, that's the color. And that's a little darker than it is. So I got those. This one I just got because I want to try this. Gail stitches on there's a name for this fabric, and Gail stitches on it and just loves it. And I thought I'd try it, but I needed the 32 count for the mirabilia. Then I was watching Flosstube, like I tend to do at night. And my two favorite animals, if you don't know by now, are chickens and foxes, which is just hilarious because I love chickens, I love foxes, and foxes love chickens too. I saw this Luca S chart kit and I had to have it right away. That is so beautiful. I don't know when I'm going to stitch it, but it's nice. Everything's separated. I might even use the called for Ada because I like it. Isn't that pretty? The papers are falling down here. Love it. I think it was only like $25. It wasn't too much money either. I don't remember who I was watching. It was someone I haven't watched before. So then I also belong to the Stitchers Guild of the Rockies, I think it's called, and they send out a birthday chart to everyone in the guild, and there's a lot of people in that guild. And it's our Happy Day by Plum Street Samplers, and the only thing I have to change in this is either to put a Canadian flag there or to just put some more flowers in there, and I can do it up. They also sent along this beautiful little zipper fob. Isn't that beautiful? I could make hundreds of these. I have so many beads. I don't know why I don't. Oh, maybe I could do some for Stitch and Stash. That's a good idea for table gigs. Sorry for my chair squeaking so much. And I think the rest is stuff that I got off of D-Stash, off of Facebook. So I bought this fabric. This is Tabby Cat. I think it's Lollybrock, if I remember right. Yeah, Lollybrock, 36 count. A lady bought it, and when it came in, she bought a half yard, and when it came in, when it shipped to her, it wasn't what she wanted. And she was quite upset on Facebook, and I thought, you know what, I've been wanting to order Tabby Cat for a while now, so I just said I'll take it off your hands then and save her the trouble of contacting the company and everything. And so anyway, I'm happy with it. .28 count Monaco, black Monaco. It's hard to find. And this is 18 by 60 inches. This came from a lady that lives 45 minutes from me. That's quite funny. So did this actually. But I think this is good for a lot of smalls from Stitching with the Housewives. And then I also bought 2 packages of just regular monocle from her as well. So I want to build myself up a stash of a variety of different fabrics and counts and that, because I don't have a stitching store anywhere near me. So I also bought this, so I got 20, I don't know if that's 25 count Lugana, 27.5 inches by 19.7 inches. This is vintage, looks like vintage country mocha. I picked up vintage Murano. That's pretty. That's 32 count, and this is 20 count. I don't know if it's 20 count or not, but anyway, I love the color, so I picked those up. Okay, so what's this here? Oh, I also picked up this Monaco. It's a 32 count. The prices were right. If at first you don't succeed, do what your wife said. My husband said, no, that's not true. Work hard, pray long, trust God. Prayer, the world's best wireless connection. Gather a harvest of love. This Lucilla with the rooster and the chickens. It's got everything in it, I guess. I love this. I worked in a school for many, many years, and I actually worked through the school division till I retired. 100 years from now, it will not matter what kind of car I drove, or what kind of house I lived in, how much I had in my bank account, nor what my clothes looked like. But the world may be a better place because I was important in the life of the child. And of course I mean that for my children and my grandchildren and as well. But I just think even in the school, I hope I made a difference in the lives of some of those children. Mirabilia, A Midsummer Night's Fairy. Lazy Afternoon by Leisure Arts. That's pretty. Barnyard Rooster and Chicken. These look like they're stitched up as pillows. Like even the back has been stitched. A trio of birdhouses. Oh, and here's another of my Erin Elizabeth packets. A pansy. Oh man, I'm gonna have to clean up here. I guess while the video's editing and uploading and okay, this is Be Loyal, Be Friendly, Be Kind. I wasn't impressed the way it was sent. It wasn't sent. It was folded up to fit in just a little small envelope, and it didn't have the bag anymore, so I'm gonna have to put it somewhere so I don't lose the two or find a bag to put it in. This is Hands-On Design, Be a Pineapple. I watch the Bougie Stitchers on Flosstube, and they always talk about straightening someone's crown. So this is Stand Tall, Wear a Crown, and Be Sweet. And I just thought that was so nice. And then Work That Crown is another one. So I thought of them when I bought it. Teresa Kogut, Rise and Shine. Yeah, that must be one that I picked off of. Hannah Hetherington. These are all from the D-Stash group. Isn't this beautiful? Jennifer Gilbert, 1818. Marianne Mitchell, circa 1810. Needle Art by Wendy. Little D Free Tag Sampler. Anne Reeve sampler. I don't know if I'll ever get all these stitched in my lifetime, but I hope to get some of them done. Mary Barr's sampler by Stacy Nash. Shakespeare's Peddlers, Anne Grant, 1829. Anne Dale, 1827, Big and Beautiful by Shakespeare's Peddler. This is one where you could just stitch motifs. You wouldn't have to stitch the whole thing if you didn't want to. You could just pick different motifs and stitch them out. Sarah Borton, 1815 by Hands On Designs. Hands Across the Sea, I should say. Samplers, that's another pretty one. Look at these flowers. Those aren't cross-stitched. Those are like almost like a satin stitch. Proverbs 31 sampler by Plum Street. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. Now I'm on to my my haul from Stitch North. I just need to be able to grab, well, I'll do what I have here. The Artsy Housewife, A Study in Garden Fairies. Love it. Oh, my camera froze, just hold on. Study in Garden Fairies. My Flowers by Boomerang Stitches. She's another designer that I really like. Brings back the 70s. Beach's House. This is Maximum Cross Stitch. She does different houses in Toronto. Well, I've only been to Toronto once, and that was for Stitch North. So I know nothing about the heritage, but excuse me, I do like the house. So I picked that up. This I've looked at for a long time. I think I'll stitch these all individually though. And maybe not all of them. I don't know if I'll stitch that one. This is Soaring with the Wind by 1897 Schoolhouse Samplers. This I picked up because I was talking to Hannah, and some people, they're doing this, they save their orts like that are too long to throw away, but you don't feel like saving. I have a jar that I'm saving them in, and I wanted something where I could just, you know, go through them and stitch little things. So she suggested this. So I picked that up. These down on the floor because the rest I picked up linen with them. Okay. The Upping of the King's Swans. Emma Carriage, age 11 years in 1870. And this is 1897 Schoolhouse Samplers. And I just love this one. So I picked up the floss pack. The reason this is open is because I had planned on stitching it in my room, but I didn't have a good enough light. And I didn't have any needles upstairs. That's why I didn't start it. I had come upstairs for the night. But this is 40 Count Temptation by Roxy Floss. And that's what I'm going to stitch it on. Isn't that vibrant? I picked up Serenity by the Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery. I didn't pick up any floss. Or yeah, I did. What am I saying? I picked up the floss pack for it. And I picked up Arrowroot 40 Count Linen for it to start it on. This, every time I watch Carolyn and Carrie on Evertote do their videos, and this is hanging behind them, I want to do it. And I thought that was one thing I wanted to pick up at Stitch North, was I wanted to pick up the whole kit to do this. So I picked up the pattern, I picked up the floss pack, and I picked up the fabric. I picked this up in 32 count because I wanted it to be vibrant, and I wanted to stitch 2 over 2 because I wanted that real vibrant look. And I think this is close enough, fine enough that I'll be okay stitching on it. but I was wondering if I made a mistake after. Then, of course, I picked up Bun Bun by the Artsy Housewife. This was a newer release of hers. I believe she released it at market this year. And I picked up the floss pack for it. And then I picked up the grunge linen. And this is a 32 count. Again, I'm going to stitch 2 over 2. Then I picked up the linen. So I picked up the 16 count, a long half. And I'm thinking I might be able to redo my Hawk Run, Spring at Hawk Run Hollow on it, because I think it might be plenty long enough for it, but we'll see. I just picked it up because of that lady that was stitching next to me. She had picked up, she was stitching on like Ada, and it looked so nice. And then I picked up Pub Crawl for my peacock, what is it called? Peacock, Unicorn, and a Badger. I call it Peacorn. That's Carolyn from Evertote. Accidentally said that, and it's stuck in my head ever since. So again, I want to do 2 stitches, 2 threads over 2 stitches with this. So I picked that up. And that was the other thing that I wanted to go there to pick up. From another shop, I picked up these. She had these, and she had them stitched on perforated paper, and they were so cute. So I thought I would try to do some of them. I don't know if, yeah, they look much nicer stitched on perforated paper. I picked this one up, Mill Hill, Laurel Birch. She was a quilt designer, a fabric designer for years, and she's another one that went too early and is gone now. But I really like that, so I picked that up. I picked up Garden Gnomes. I thought it was so cute. And then I picked up Sticks, Life is Beautiful. And these are all stitched on perforated paper. Then at that same booth, I picked up this needle minder. And that needle minder that I showed you earlier in the video, I can't remember which one it was now. It was a butterfly one. That was purchased from this gift shop too. I picked this up, but I picked up 2 of these boxes. And one I use every day. It's on my little tray, my lap tray. And this one, I may save it as a gift for someone at some point. But it's got, they both had scissors in them. They both had needle minders in them. They've got a counting pin, or a ripping pin, I call it, a ribbit pin. This is for your scissors, or your bag tag. This is a little ripper, not a ripper, a needle threader. Beads. And then a pair of scissors. And it is amazing, like, I really do use my other one. It's small, so it doesn't take up much space on the table. Like, I'll be taking it to stitch and stash. But yeah, I use it all the time. But I saw this one, and I had to have it too because it's really cute. Why am I not closing? Oh, it's because this needs to come out. No. There we go. I picked that up. From another shop. Oh, I'm not showing these. From another shop, I picked this up. This is more for, I don't know if I'm going to use this for cross stitch or for sewing. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? And one side, it's like an awl. You use that when you're feeding your fabric through, and you want to kind of hold on to it till the very end as it's coming through going through your machine. I've never bought myself a fancy seam ripper or an awl, and there's a seam ripper on this side. So this is probably going to sit beside my sewing machine. I've never bought myself something like this in my life, but it was like $25, and it's absolutely beautiful. I picked up New Beginnings by Teresa Kogut. Gifts of the Season by Blackbirds, and these were releases at market this year. The Sweet Bird Sings by Blackbird. Then I picked up this stitchy mat from Gamma's Treasures, and this opens up and then you snap it together like this, and you have a little Ort tray for your table. This is a magnet, so it can catch your needles or your scissors. You can put things in your pouches. Oh, there's some thread tags. I think I put them in there. Someone had left this as a gift on the table. So yeah, it's quite cute. And I know I sew and I can do these myself, but I don't know if I'd ever make myself one. So this way I have one to take to the retreat with me. So I'm just going to clean up a bit here, and I'll be right back with my plans. So I finished my month 6 of my hometown, which is one of my monthly commitments, and I've started on my Bitty Club, which probably should take me a couple of days to do, but I won't be home for a few days here. So then I'm going to try, and my sayings of the season, I'm caught up. I have a free month now because I finished the other one in a month's time. So I want to do this from Erin Elizabeth. I have bought the wooden pieces for this from Paisleys and Polka Dots last year, and I wonder, yeah, I did this up for my Stitch North Smalls last year, so I need to do one up for myself. I have another piece of wood, or pieces of wood, to do this, but I want to do lavender. So I've picked up the floss. I've kitted up the floss that I need for it, but I still have to pick out my fabric, which I'll do it. It calls for 28 count light mocha linen by Zweigart. So I think I've got some, like, some Monaco that I can stitch that on, but I won't be starting that for a couple more days, and then I go away. I'll probably work on, this is the day to try to finish it, but I leave for Stitch and Stash, the Stitch and Stash retreat in Edmonton on June 18th, and I come back on the 23rd. So yeah, that won't leave me lots of extra time. I don't know what I'm taking to stitch there. I mentioned a few things, but I'll decide the last day what I take. I'm thinking if there's any spots available for Stitch North in the fall, I might still go, but then part of me is saying, no, Winona, put some money away so you can do some really good retreats in the spring next year. And Flosstube. I have a lot of flower gardens outside. I don't think I'm planting a vegetable garden this year. It's getting late. It's not too late yet, but it is getting late. And I don't think I'm going to plant. One day I am and one day I'm not. I can't make up my mind. But my flower beds got into quite a mess last year, and we call it twitch grass or quack grass. It grew in really badly, and right now I've got like grass that's a foot long, just thick in my flower bed that I'm slowly working my way through. My flower bed is probably as big as most urban vegetable gardens are. It's huge. So it's taken me a few days to get through that, and now I'll have a few more days off because of all this rain, so I won't get back to it for a few days, but we'll see. Oh, and I've also decided I didn't want to give up on Everyday Gratitude, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to save it till the end of the video, and then it's something that can stick with me throughout the day then. So today is by Ken Wilber, And it says, be the most ethical, the most responsible, the most authentic you can be with every breath you take, because you are cutting a path into tomorrow that others will follow. And how can I tend my path to make it clear and compelling to those who will follow? Wow, isn't that cool? I think of my granddaughters and how important it is that I lead by example for them. You know, like it was important with my own kids, but as a grandparent, suddenly it just is so different. You just want the best for those little kids that you can, and you wanted it for your kids, but maybe there's been enough years go by that you don't feel as strongly as you did back then, maybe. But yeah, how can I tend my path to make it clear and compelling to those who will follow? That's something that we should try to do every day. I wish you lots of love and happiness. Till I meet you again, take care, my friends. Bye-bye.